Let's turn to Ukraine, can we? Because you compared the war in Ukraine with the Second World War. President Trump is now saying, look, if you want peace, Ukraine is going to have to give up some territory. Some people think that is common sense to say that. Do you think it's not common sense? It's perhaps modern day appeasement?
It is modern day appeasement. Look, listen to what Putin said when he talked about going from Kyiv into Ukraine. And why? He can't stand the fact that the Russian dictatorship that he runs, that the Soviet Union has collapsed. And anybody thinks he's going to stop is just foolish.
New this morning, former President Joe Biden giving his first broadcast interview since leaving the White House.
Haven't watched the full interview yet, but this kind of just seems to me like the war machine this is not a good look, right? This looks like they're pretty desperate to keep the war going. They're going to trot this guy out and try to stir up something. I don't know what, but for Joe Biden to be coming out now to try to prop this up, just it makes me hopeful that this will hopefully stop soon, because it seems like now they got nothing left.
White House. Listen to what he told the BBC.
And the way we talk about now that, it's just the Gulf of America. Maybe we're going to have to take back Panama. Maybe we need to acquire Greenland. Maybe Canada should be. What the hell's going on here? What president ever talks like that?
All right, with us now, CNN political commentator, former Trump White House communications director, Alyssa Farah-Griffin, and CNN political commentator and host of Off the Cup, S.E. Cup, is here.
Hi.
Two things I want to talk about with former President Biden there, because he was talking about foreign policy in general and President Trump's handling of it. Politico's headline today is World on Fire. Look, India, Pakistan.
Yeah.
You have Russia still, pounding Ukraine. You've got Israel taking the gloves off again, perhaps in Gaza there. So when Joe Biden...
and so first of all, with the exception of India, Pakistan, all those conflicts happened when? Right, they didn't happen with the Trump administration. So, he's trying to end those things, but he's not, directly involved, boots on the ground. So, it's just they're throwing shit at the wall right now.
Biden, the former president, is talking about this. What do you think of his message? And then also, what do you think of the messenger?
The message is fine. The messenger is irrelevant. And that's, hard to say and maybe hard for him to hear. But listen, Democratic voters are over him. Democratic lawmakers are angry at him. And Democratic donors are over him. They're past him. They're done with him. They don't want him around. And just practically, it's a very bad time for Joe Biden to pop up. Voters are just now starting to blame the economy on Donald Trump and less on Joe Biden. For him to pop up and remind people of the bad old days it's bad timing. He's got a great point of view on foreign policy and he's earned it over many years, but he's an irrelevant.
He's been wrong about every single, you can go back, I think the 50 years that Biden's been in office and see where his, whatever the current day Joe Biden foreign policy issue was, he was wrong about almost every single one of them. I mean, almost every single one. So I don't know what she's talking about.
Relevant figure in the party right now.
He's going to pop up tomorrow on The View, I think, with you, Alyssa. Former President Biden is. Again, on foreign policy, this is something that President Biden ran on before he dropped out, which we'll get to in just a second here. How do voters feel about this message that this is all chaos?
Well, I suspect Essie and I are getting similar texts this morning from Democratic operatives, because this is the messenger no Democrat wants to see out there right now. Listen, Joe Biden has a very mixed legacy on a number of factors. He deserves tremendous credit for holding the NATO alliance together in the aftermath of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This is also a president who oversaw the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan that arguably has implications for the war between Israel and Gaza and other things that we see happening around the world, something that I think has been really hard for allies and our adversaries around the world to forget about. Listen, people are ready to move on, with due respect to the former president. And most former presidents give their legacies some time to breathe. I think of Jimmy Carter. When he lost, he did not go out there and do a lot of interviews. He gave his legacy some time. In a decade.
So I just wonder then, maybe they're going to get to it, but what's the point? Right? Is the point of him coming out now, is he selling something? Does he need cash? What's the issue? It would seem to me that these people don't just pop up. They don't pop up because they feel like it, right? They can have the spotlight whenever they want. So they're taking it for a reason. There's a reason why he's out there right now, whether that be for his either his personal or family gain, or somebody is trotting him out there right now. I mean, who knows? I mean, it actually would be pretty smart if someone on the right was actually paying Joe Biden to go out there right now. As you know, that's actually not a bad idea. If you like just fronted him saying, "Oh, we're going to promote your book or whatever," just go out there and do the scene, hit the circuit. But yeah, that's my question is why, right? Who is pushing him out there right now? There's a reason why he's going out there right now.
Later, he was one of the most beloved former presidents. If I were giving advice to Joe Biden, it'd be give your legacy some time to breathe. Trump is actually getting some responsibility for what's happening right now. Let him own that.
And I'm sure you say that, though, excited about the booking on The View you have tomorrow, getting a chance to talk to
But thank you for coming on.
Yeah, just one more quick bite of former President Biden, then I want to move on to something else here. But he was asked a question that I think I know Democrats don't want to relive right now, which is should he dropped out of the race sooner?
Mr. President, did you leave it too late? Should you have withdrawn earlier, given someone else a bigger chance?
I don't think it would have mattered.
I'm sorry, I should have had that face there. I mean, Alyssa, it may be the way he answered that question that answered the question.
I mean, it was honest.
It did. Listen, Kamala Harris had a 90-day stretch to run, by the way, at a time when the approval rating in the country, the right track, wrong track, only 28% of Americans thought that the country was on the right track.
And they're never held accountable for this, right? Okay, so then why did everyone say she was going to win? Why was she leading in all the polls and everything like that? If these guys and these people in the media apparatus knew that, which they did, why were they saying that? And the answer is because that's how you swayed an electorate. That's how you get people to be either, for you or against you. That's how you get out motivate the base or do whatever, right? They play these political games like right now. All the polling data that's coming out that's showing Trump underwater. Well, once you get down into the weeds, into the polls, you start to see that, I think out of every 100 people that were polled, only 30 to 35% of them were Trump supporters. Well, if you're polling a nation that's divided into two sides, then you should have a 50-50 split on the people that you're getting. But that's not what they do. And what they do is they use that as momentum to get the people on the outskirts of the argument, right? To get the outliers, to get the people that maybe aren't fully MAGA or super down with Trump to kind of like, because you want to be on the winning team, right? Everybody wants to be on the winning team. Everyone wants to be on the side that's doing well, right? Nobody wants to be down 30 points or anything like that. They want to be on the up and coming, riding the wave, right? And so when they come out with these polls saying that he's only had a 42% approval rating and he's underwater in the economy, underwater in immigration, which how the hell would he be underwater in immigration? But whatever. Like, it just goes to show you how disingenuous the media can be. And they're disingenuous for a reason, right? They're using that as leverage to get people that are maybe soft on Trump or Trump light to try to leave him.
You could be the greatest political candidate of all time, which the former vice president was not, and you're not going to be able to overcome that way that you're just carried down by the Biden administration. It's also just not a feat we've ever seen in American politics where somebody's been elected in that short of a time frame. And to her credit, she raised $1 billion. She set some major, she outpaced some goals that she had, but I think it's inarguable that more time for any other candidate on the Democratic side would have been a good thing.
Former President Biden did an interview, I think it was with the BBC, where he was asked about some of Trump's foreign policy moves in the opening day of his second term. And he brought up this idea of, like, what are they focusing on, mentioning the Gulf of America conversation.
And the way we talk about now that, it's the Gulf of America.
Yeah, I got to see this full interview because it just sounds like I can't figure it out. There has to be a reason. I'm sure it's staring me right in the face and I can't grasp it. If you guys think you know what that reason is, do me a favor, just put it in the comments so we can have a discussion about it. I talk with everybody in the comments section. It's a little, it's kind of fun. We go back and forth. If you can, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out a lot. But more on Biden, like, I just trying to figure out what is the angle here? What are we getting at? Who is telling him to do this? What is the reason behind him doing this? I would be really interested to find out. I'm sure it will come out. Like, there's going to be something glaring that says it right. It's going to be a book deal or something. Or, like I said, it's somebody believes that this is going to help them in some way. What that way is, I have no idea. And I'd be interested to find out. If you guys know, drop it in the comments. Thanks a lot for coming out. We'll see you again on the next video. Thanks a lot.